Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 9, Episode 3. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So Yandy says that she was shocked at the way that Juju acted at Jonathan's party. She didn't even know that, there was drama between the two of them. And then, for Kimbella to walk in there and to be acting a class act fool because she was trying to blast Yandy for setting her up. She couldn't talk to nobody. So now she's going to sit down with Juju and just kind of feel her out, see how she's feeling about things. Like, what's going on, Juju? So when they sit down, Yandy was like, well, what was going on? And Juju was like, look, I really didn't have time for the dramatics of Jonathan and Anais. Okay, didn't come there for that. I guess Juju thought that because she wasn't invited that it would be a good idea to show up anyway. You weren't invited for a reason, girl. She had a problem with the fact that Jonathan said that she was secretive. And she was just like, where does secretive come from? Like, nobody calls me secretive. I'm not secretive. And Yandy was like, well, you do be secretive because, she didn't tell them about when she broke up with Cam. And Juju was like, first of all, why should I have to tell you guys about me breaking up with him? Like, that was a very, a large part of my life that was gone. Like, I had to deal with it on my own. I shouldn't have to be telling everybody about my breakups. And I was like, exactly. Okay, Yandy one of them friends that feel like you're supposed to tell them everything. Okay, even though she probably keeps her own fucking secrets. But we'll get to that later. Bottom line, Juju didn't feel like telling nobody. It wasn't just Yandy, so don't feel left out. It was her life, and she didn't tell anybody. So don't question me about my decisions. And Yandy was like, well, I'm not questioning you. Like, my very next question after you told me about what happened was, do you need anything? So don't make me feel bad for asking. And Juju was like, well, don't make me feel bad for not asking for your help. I was like, exactly, Juju. But Yandy, she's special. So Juju's mad, okay? And she's hurt that people is questioning her decisions. So she decides to meet up with her real homegirl, okay, Remy Ma. Remy is at a photo shoot with Pap. And when she gets a little break, she sits down and she talks to Juju. So Remy was telling us about, her future endeavors, okay? Not only is she doing her music and not only is she pregnant, I was like, child, when is she going to have this baby? I saw she posted a picture of her stomach, okay? Talking about the baby is just about done cooking. It feel like her and LaToya Luck have been pregnant forever. That's what happens when you tell people from the very, very beginning. She's telling her that she also has this clothing line, it's a collaboration with another company. I didn't get the name. But anyway, she's starting this clothing line. So this is what the photo shoot is for, her modeling her clothes. And then a portion of the proceeds from the clothing line is going to go to her foundation. She has a foundation where she reintroduces women that are just coming out of prison, back into society, probably helping them, with interview skills, giving them clothes to wear in their interviews, just kind of getting them acclimated back to, outside of the system. Okay, so real good for Remy. I think that's a great thing. But what's been going on with you, Juju? Oh, Juju is mad. She is upset about this whole thing with Jonathan. She went to this party and Jonathan tried to go off on her and he told her that she was secretive. And Remy was just like, secretive? Where'd he get that from? And she was like, from who else? Yandy. Because when I was telling Yandy what happened, she gonna come telling me that I am secretive and I don't be telling her stuff. And I was like, bitch, don't forget that you didn't tell us that you and Mendices really didn't sign the marriage paperwork and that you really wasn't married. Okay, you didn't come telling us that, so you secretive as well. Remy was smirking like, okay, I understand. But girl, I'm sure Yandy really does care, so just let me mediate a conversation between the two of you guys and, get you guys back on the right track. Juju was just like, whatever. So Remy says, that she knows Yandy. Yandy was just being her regular annoying self. I was like, I'm so glad you know who Yandy is, okay? But she feels like Yandy does care. And because Juju is so upset, she feels like it's her duty to get her girlfriends back on the right track. So when they sit down, Juju tells Yandy, like, I feel like Jonathan got that whole secretive thing from you, okay? There's no other reason for him to say something like that for me, about me. Anyway, none of my friends call me secretive. Nobody has ever told me that I'm secretive. That shit is shady. Like, I don't like that word. I was like, girl, I guess she one of them ones that don't like to be called out of her name in any kind of way, okay? Juju is pissed. Then she tells her, like, you didn't even tell us about your secret that you and Mendices didn't sign your marriage paperwork and that you guys wasn't married. Okay, well, Yandy says, oh, that's a different situation. She didn't tell her friends because, you know, her and Mendices was waiting to tell everybody together. I guess when he got out of fucking jail 10 years later, however fuck long he's supposed to be up in there. So Yandy says it's a whole different situation. Well, Juju don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. First of all, I don't feel like why people think that you got to be telling everybody your business any fucking way as far as your relationship is concerned. Juju is also upset about the fact that when her and Cam broke up, she didn't really tell anybody. She told a few people in her family, and she told Yandy and Remy. That was it. She said all of a sudden, Cam come calling her all mad, that feeling like he had been told, you know, that she had told a whole bunch of people. And she was like, so I feel like you said something to Cam about it, Yandy. Okay, did you say something? Yandy was like, no, of course not. But something in that denial, I was like, girl, you was lying. You mentioned something to him to set him off like that. And Juju knows it. Okay, so that's why she really has a problem with Yandy, because she feels like Yandy was being messy. And Yandy strikes me as the type that'll go to the dude. You know, she always talking about how she be closer to the guys anyway and all of this shit. So it's just like, whatever. So right when they about to get, you know, started up arguing, Remy shut that shit down. You know, okay, all right, it's hamburger time. It's time to eat. Okay, nobody feel like hearing this fucking arguing. I said, thank you. Thank you, Remy Ma. Okay, nobody feel like hearing that. Next up, we see the ho-ho, the head of ho operations. Okay, don't that Darren Ritchie Dollars look like the old fucking man in the club? Every time I see him, now, you know, he say his health is better and everything, but he still look like an old ass man on this show. Okay, that black ass hair, you can't tell me that nigga don't dye his hair. And then them curls, child, them struggling curls, and he got the nerve to have lines and shit shaved. How the fuck old is Richie? He has got to be close to my age. 45 at least. I'm gonna need Richie to do better anyway. He say he's still on his grind. Okay? He got his music. I'm just, what has Richie put out? What has Richie been responsible for? Somebody please tell me. Okay? I'm not talking about way back in the day. I'm talking about recent years. Okay? Whoever, y'all get to y'all Google fingers and let me know. Now he's meeting up with Jacquay. And Jacquay come talking about, you know, Sean John. I said, this nigga gonna Sean John us to death. He gonna become the new Rashida with that fucking Rosewood. Every goddamn scene when he come in, you know, now that I'm the face of Sean John. Okay, we know that you are. Jacquay got this hit single, he say, with Nia Lee. And Richie Dollars was like, oh, Nia Lee. Okay, he remembers Nia Lee. You know, they crossed paths some years ago when Nia Lee was on the show. And, you know, she was just really just crazy. And Richie was like, I can't be dealing with nobody like that, you know, and she probably still is, because where has her career gone? I said, well, fuck, if we pulling names, where the fuck your career gone other than being on this damn show? Jacquay was like, no, you know what? She has changed now. She's a mother. Okay. I think Nia Lee, isn't she the one that became a Muslim and was really heavy into that? Like, I remember kind of seeing things about her and then her and, you know, not really hearing much, but I actually thought that Nia Lee was a good rapper. But, you know, it's a lot of people out there that are good and just don't seem to make it for whatever reason. But anyway, so Jacquay wants Richie Dollars to give her another chance, and he says, well, you know what, she may have changed. You know, people do change. So okay, he's willing to take a little listen and see, but he also need a favor from Jacquay. Okay, he got this girl that he's testing out, and you know, he think that she got potential to, you know, to be fire. I said, what bullshit this nigga fixing to come up with? Baby, Richie Dollars ain't got the eye no fucking more, if he ever did have it. But he goes on to explain that the girl got this big following, you know, this whole social media presence, and she could mean a little bank for the boy. So if they do figure out that she's, you know, the next Cardi B, he wants Jacquay to write her next hit. Jacquay was like, okay, well, let me be clear now. You trying to fuck on old girl? Or is this like for real, for real? And Richie Dollars was like, oh, no, not trying to fuck. This is strictly business. Now, later on, we see Richie D at the diner, okay? And the woman that he's talking about is Sydney Starr. You guys know who Sydney Starr is, right? Fuck, I know who Sydney Starr is, and I don't know nothing about her, okay? Sydney Starr has been around for a very long time. So Richie D tells us that he's hesitant to work with her because, you know, in the past, she's had a potential to be messy. I'm thinking, like, isn't that all that you like? When he sits down and talks to her, she's trying to explain to him that she's serious, like she really does want this. You know, she's been around and she's really trying to make it happen. So while they talking, in walks Jacques. And Jacques seems to be a little smitten with old Sydney Star. You know, she bubbly, you know, hey, how you doing? You know, and he's looking at her titties the whole entire time. She has these real big, you know, jubilous, juicy, and all this. So Richie Dollars explains that he's the hook king and, you know, he gonna hook her up with, you know, this hit song and yada yada yada, and you know she telling him how she gonna be the next big thing and rap, you know, she this, she that, you know, and Jacques was like, okay, you know, she's like, I like Jaguar. Okay, Richie D was like, you are not gonna call this man Jaguar, his name is Jacques. So anyway, Jaguar, would you like to hear a little a little sample of her freestyle? Yeah, go on and let me do that. Okay. Yo, I'm a star, call me Sydney, STARRA. I'm that raw ass bitch, that chick with the dick, but motherfucker still trying to holler at this. A. You feel me? A. No, we don't feel you, Sydney. What the fuck? I was so uncomfortable just watching her make a fool of herself. Not only that, everybody in the fucking diner was laughing at her, including Richie D. When I pull up on the scene, niggas staring like I'm taking stuff. I don't need your money, nigga. You don't even make enough. I said, girl, if you don't get your fucking ass off this thing. Oh my God. And it was uncomfortable because everybody was laughing. Every, you know, other line was about her dick and her penis and all of that. You know, Jacques is looking like, what the fuck is going on? I guess Jacques don't be on fucking social media. Like I said, I know who Sydney Star is and I don't know nothing about her. Okay, had no idea that she was even trying to rap. I was just like, okay, Mona, bitch. Why he don't know who the hell this girl is? Why are you trying to introduce this woman that's been around for the longest? As if, you know, he wouldn't know who she was. It was a mess. And honestly, I feel like Sydney, like the fact that she's a transgender woman and that, like, I feel like if you are a transgender woman, like the whole idea is to pass as a woman, right? Or as to live your life as a woman. Do you want to keep screaming out that you got a fucking dick? Is that anybody's business? You know, so I was just like, what is going on? You know? Like, that makes me feel like that's the reason why a lot of transgender people are not taken seriously. I would be pissed if I was a transgender woman or man and I'm watching, you know, yes, I'm a real woman. I know some of you motherfuckers out there get real shady in them comments some goddamn time, but I would be really mad if I'm trying to live my life and be taken seriously and then you have somebody on TV because there's a whole bunch of transgender women you know, on TV, like, not a whole bunch, but I can think of two. The girl that's on Star, Amaya, is that her name? And Laverne Cox, like, they don't go screaming out if they have a dick or not. Like, who cares? Like, that's not none of our business. So I was just like, girl, you a setback for the transgender community if you ask me, you know, and I know she's been through a lot, so I would feel like, why would you exploit that? Look, my transgender rock stars out there, because I have a few of them. I've talked to a few of you before. Y'all tell me how you feel about something like this. Like, is this cool? You guys just kind of take it in the vein of entertainment, or like, do you understand what I'm saying? So that was a little disappointing. You know, Jacques wants to know why she talking about dick so much, and that's when she say that she is a transgender woman. You know, Richie was like, but she's entertaining, right? Oh yeah, as long as we can laugh at them, why not? Well, Jacques says, well, you know what, you raw around the edges, you need to be polished, you know, so you can get in the studio and he can see what she got and, you know, all of this. And, you know, Sydney said, you know, they call her Sydney Star for a reason. You staring at a star. STARRA. Later on, we see her, you know, she's at the park and she says she's been trying to get in the hip hop game forever. You know, she got to get Richie D and Jacques to take her seriously. She meets with her boy Byron and she says that, you know, Byron did try to get with her back in the day, but now they just real cool. You know, he's like one of her #1 supporters. So they meet up in the park and, you know, she's just telling him how she's trying to get on with Richie D. And he was just like, Richie D, like, what has he done? And she was like, oh, he done really put a whole bunch of people on. He was like who? I was with Byron, like, please tell me what Richie D has done. Okay, she says, well, Erica Mena. I'm thinking to myself, like, Erica Mena, first of all, has no musical talent and has not been put on because of her musical talents. The reason why she's been put on is because she's a pretty girl and she's fucking crazy. Then she gonna say Olivia. Well, if Olivia is Richie D's claim to fame, and you know, the friend was just like, oh, okay, real shady. Like, I'm not fixing to argue with you. Obviously, you got your heart set on Richie D, but he don't see it. So she's telling him how, you know, Richie D put her on with Jacquay. And he was like, oh, okay, Jacquay, yeah, Jacquay is what's up. I said, well, shit, I didn't know what Jacquay was doing. But everybody talking like Jacquay been writing some hits out there. So again, y'all rock stars, y'all nosy ass ones with the Google fingers, y'all let me know what his Jacquay been responsible for. Mona got her some stars on there this season, don't she? I said, who would ever know that old dusty ass nigga had some talent for real? Okay, back on my bullshit. I guess we can't forget about that one. But the problem is that Jacquay's been living under a rock, so he didn't know that Sydney Starr, STARR, was transgender. And that might be the reason why Richie D is apprehensive about working with her, because, you know, he may get some flack about working with a transgender. You know, they might start calling him gay and everything. And a friend was like, man, please, if Richie D sees anything in you and knows that he could make some money off of you, because let's be real, we know that's all that nigga is around for. But if he sees something in you, then it shouldn't even matter if you transgender or not. Talent always overrules everything else. But in the real world, that's not always true. But anyway, you guys, we get a blast from the past. Old Nia Lee is back. Okay, she looks good. I always thought she was a pretty girl. She used to have the shaved hair. Well, now she's got the long blonde hair. Okay, her and Jacquay is up on stage performing her big hit, Move It. Why the fuck Mona ain't let us hear none of the goddamn I mean, we heard the song, but Nia Lee didn't rap at all. I was just like, when I was watching it, I was like, damn, this is another rap that I'm gonna have to learn. But nope. We just saw her up on the mic, you know, up on the stage, and she was like, hey, and child ain't did nothing, okay? Saw Jacquay do a little whatever, and it was over. So Jacquay gets off stage, and he sees Richie D. Hey, you know, he glad he made it. Richie D was like, yeah, it was good, you know, and Nia Lee looked like she back on her music grind, you know, she working hard, she sound good as well. I said, what did you hear? So, you know, Richie D wants to support. Nia Lee walks up and she's just like, oh man, Richie D, okay, from the Creep Squad, the ho-ho, head of whole operations. He seems pretty okay with seeing Nia Lee as well, you know, so she teases him, okay? That reputation will never leave old Richie D, you know, fuck, last season he was fucking Anais and she was married, okay? So, yeah, Nia Lee got to do her due diligence and do research on Richie D, you know, just to make sure that he on the up and up this time around. That Richie D got the nerve to be offended. Don't be worried about, you know, your due diligence and what he do, who he fucking on, because he been in the game 20 years. I was like, well, nigga, the last 10 of them you been on this show and we ain't seen shit from you. Folks always want to talk about what they did long time ago. And I mean, we ain't gonna say that you didn't do shit at one time, but we talking about the here and now. So he mad at her for saying what she said. Then up walks Sydney Starr and he was like, see, you need to be like her, okay, bubbly, okay? And Sydney Starr come in and she looking Nia Lee up and down, and I was just like, oh, Sydney, you are really exploiting yourself. Why are you doing this? It's so fake and phony. And I got rock stars out there that keep telling me, oh, the reason why I love New York is because they so real and the storylines is real. And I was just like, you guys really think this bullshit is real? Okay. Only real storyline on this show is Jewels and Kimbella. And maybe Juju being pissed off at Yandy. So, you know, Sydney Starr walks up to her like, hey, and Nia Lee was like, who is this? Sydney Starr was like, you know what? She has been rejected by so many people because she's transgender. She know how the game go. You know, it's the last time that she gonna let somebody say something disrespectful to her. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you the one came up to Nia Lee crazy first. Nia Lee is looking at her like, bitch, I will wrap your ass up under this table. You know, they get to arguing back and forth, and then Richie D was like, okay, he got to pull Sydney Starr away because it's not worth it. You know, kind of trying to make it seem like it's all on Nia Lee, when Nia Lee was minding her own fucking business, and I think Sydney Starr is the one that walked up on them. So they walk off to the side, talking about this is the last thing he needs, even though he was the one who fucking started it when she walked up talking about, you need to be like her. she all bubbly and everything. He is so full of shit, you guys. So he's telling her, like, don't be even, feeding into that. And then Jacquay come over there and just keep it real. Like, you was the fucking one that was tripping, not Nia Lee. You came up, you was calling her names. Like, you was the problem, not her. And the whole time that Jacquay is reading Sydney Star, all of a sudden Richie D is like, thank you. But you was just blaming Nia Lee for it. And you was saying how, Sydney Star was the one. And what the fuck is going on? Richie, he need to get his old ass off of there. You are part of this whole problem, Richie D. Okay, Sydney Star, she says that she's going to leave all that alone. She's sorry. Okay, maybe she shouldn't have acted that way. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have. Jonathan, it's so annoying talking about Jonathan because this is another one of those storylines that I just feel is so fake, and I think that he puts on 2,000% just so he can just get up there and fucking scream and yell at everybody. But anyway, Jonathan said he felt bad about what happened at his party. Okay, the whole confrontation with Juju, he felt like it was Anais and Kimbella's fault, so he wanted to sit down and talk to them so that they can apologize. Okay, Mona told Sin Santana to just show on up, girl, go on and get your little monies. I'm not mad. So she there with him, but has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. So she just sitting down and she just listening to the conversation between the three of them. First, Anais. He blames Anais for getting Juju all riled up. He says that you jumped on her as soon as she walked through the door. And Anais was like, first of all, she was being disrespectful to you on your birthday. Okay? She the one that fucking started that shit. You had to handle it. Okay? But Jonathan's whole thing was, you shouldn't have said anything. When you saw her and you knew you already had a problem with her, you should have just left. Okay, well, that ain't how Anais is built. Shit, Anais felt like she was defending him. And he said, well, I didn't need no defending against Juju. I needed you to defend me against Kimbella because Kimbella was the problem. And Kimbella was like, wait a minute, huh? Excuse me? You was the one that had a whole bunch of shit to say about Juju to me. Okay, but Jonathan's pissed at Kimbella because he feel like Kimbella told Juju what he said before she even came. Okay, so that's why Juju had the attitude, which... it's true. The whole time that they having this conversation, Sin is looking back and forth between all of them like she watching a fucking tennis game. Kimbella was like, don't try to put that on me. Okay, you the one that said what you said. You called her fake. You called her phony. Okay, so Anais was like, no, Jonathan, this is on you. You can't blame this shit on us. Next thing you know, him and Anais get into this argument. Okay, they yelling on this rooftop and all of the people is around them watching and looking like, oh my God, like what is going on? They wasn't prepared for this. Or maybe Mona finally told everybody to act like they had real reactions to it. But you know what? Anais was like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I ain't gonna be sitting up here talking to you. He was like, fine, go on, bitch. Go on and take your old dusty ass wig, which I said, nigga, them is fighting words. You can't be my friend and talk about my unit. When she leaves, he sits down and he tells Kimbella, or I should say he yells at Kimbella, that she knows what she did and she said what she said, and that's the reason why, Juju was all mad. He's still trying to convince her of that. And Kimbella was like, you know what? Fuck this. I got real problems. Real shit at the house. I'm earning my keep around here, not like the rest of you guys. I ain't got to sit here and listen to this fuck shit. Fuck you. Now, Anais, we see her at the house. Okay, remember when she said she ain't got to be dealing with that? Okay, it's because she got her own shit at the house and she's still with Ruben. He's still, with the kids. This time we see her in the home and it's the same shit as last season. She is so overwhelmed with being a mother. Okay, she has 2 little boys. I think they must be 4 or 5. She said how old they were. Fuck, they look exactly alike. I thought they were twins. Were they twins or were they just like stair-step babies? Whatever the case. Anais says that it's hard, cooking dinner and helping them with homework and, giving them baths. And I was like, shit that, you are a mother. These are normal things. These are the basic things that you have to do. And she is having such a hard time. Okay. And look, I'm not saying that people don't have a hard time being mothers. Okay. That's why I'm trying to figure out if those 2 were twins. Because if you had one and you realized how hard it was, what the fuck you turn around and have another one for? But maybe they're twins. I don't know. But I'm just sitting there looking like, oh, woe is me. We supposed to feel sorry about the fact that she has 2 kids and she has to actually be a mother. But I guess because she's trying to keep this career going, it's just hard on her. So when the kids leave out the room, she sits down with Ruben and she's just saying how, she's sacrificed so much and she's tired. She need a little bit more help at the house. All right. It's already sounding like Anais got one foot out the door again. She's just struggling because she feels like she should be further in her career. And I said, well, if you stop doing this kind of bullshit, okay, you set yourself up with the fool of fucking nicketry on this show all the time. And then you want people to take you seriously. And Anais has a beautiful voice. She is talented. But yet and still you would rather be on this show with this fucking wig that's orange and these gray blue contact lenses and looking like a cartoon character and just like, who is supposed to take all that seriously? But it's fine if that's what you want to do. Don't just be trying to act like the reason why you can't get your music off the ground is because of that. Well, you choosing to do that. So she's crying to Ruben how she's fed up and she wants to give up. And Ruben's like, don't you ever give up. I'm starting to wonder if Ruben, we might need to do some testing on Ruben. Let me stop. That's not nice. But, she just feels like nobody sees her sacrifice and what she gives up for her family. Girl, it's called being a mother. Get the fuck over it. And then lastly, you guys, the real problem on the show. Okay, Kimbella, she goes to see her man in the studio. Jewels is on the mic. He all positive. He rapping about, the man trying to bring people down. I'm not laughing, you guys, but I was just like, how ironic. Now all of a sudden, after all the shit you was doing out there, now all of a sudden, you just so... Hindsight is 2020, right? He all conscious now with his retainer rap. I shouldn't laugh. Every time he talk, I was like, oh my God, it sounds like he just got a whole bunch going on his mouth. Okay. That's not nice. Well, we found out the other day that the shit was fast-tracked and they was about to go to court, right? Okay, now he done found out from his lawyer that instead of it being 18 to 27 months, now it's 27 to 37 months if he pleads out. If he goes to court and he loses his case, then he could be there 47 to 57 months, okay? And Kimbella was just like, what? Like, why is this? Now, you already told me it was just going to be a year and a half. Now we done got all the way up to 5-6 years. I said, girl, he just like old Mendices, huh? She was like, are you okay with this? And he was like, of course I'm not okay with this. Who wants to go to jail? But now he thinking about the kids and how they not going to be around. Kimbella was like, you're not going to see your family potentially for 5-6 fucking years. She did not sign up for that. I said, well, maybe you kind of did, Kimbella. She is furious that this is happening. The kids are going to be big. They're not going to know him. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to take the plea? You going to try to, fight it? He says he don't know. Kimbella was just like, I feel like, this is like the reason why this is happening is because, you haven't really taken time to deal with the fact that you was on drugs. You haven't suffered any consequences and now here we are. And he was just like, oh, so you blaming me? And she was just like, I'm just saying, you haven't taken responsibility for nothing. And it's true. Like, we can sit there and watch him and you swear he would put everything on the system and that, he just didn't know he had the fucking gun. She's just like, this is all because of, you being on drugs, basically. And he was just like, okay, whatever, fine. Okay. He getting mad at the fact that Kimbella is trying to point all of this out. So they're on their way to court. Kimbella says she's super duper nervous. Her feelings and emotions is all over the place, but she just gonna be there for Jewels and, be supportive because that's what he needs. Jewels even tells us that, this is weighing hard, heavy on his heart, his mind, his body, and his soul. Okay. But he says, whatever the consequences would be. I said consequences. Them fucking retainers will fuck your speech up, child. So they go into the court, and when they come out, okay, Jewels tells us that he went on and took the plea. I said, I think you should have. Okay, but that still don't mean that the judge, has the final say. So that don't necessarily mean that he gonna do 27 months. He could still do more. So he doesn't feel like he has any real closure. When they get in the car, he's at least glad that that part is out of the way. And, he feels like he was moving in the right direction, just like he had been before all this stuff happened. And Kimbella was like, you was moving in the right direction? She was like, yeah. She was like, you mean like before you got caught at the airport with the gun? He was like, yeah. She was just like, okay, see, this is what I'm talking about when I say you ain't dealt with it Okay, because your ass was fucking high at the airport, and that's the reason why they saw the gun, why you had the gun with you. And he was like, I'm not going to jail on a drug charge. I'm going to jail on a gun charge. And she was like, but still, you going to jail because you was high. And you didn't realize that you had the gun with you. So the drugs are a big part of the reason why we are in this mess now. Do you know that nigga tried to pull the Jedi mind trick on her? Was like, oh, so you innocent in all of this. You didn't do what you did too. Okay, you wasn't. Don't act like you wasn't doing shit too. You was cheating. Fuck, I did drugs in the house. You was upstairs when I was downstairs doing them. She was like, don't even go there because I didn't do shit to you. And I tried to beg you to come upstairs and get off them drugs. And he was like, bullshit, whatever. She was like, I tried to ask you to stop for 2 years. Okay, I'm listening to this conversation. I said, it's probably a little bit of both. Okay, when Jewels was at his height and Kimbella was with him, she probably was enjoying the fact that he was, he was a star. So, okay, a little drugs here and there, she dealt with it. Once that shit started to get out of hand, then she probably had a problem with it. But you know what? She probably reaped the benefits of, the whole rapper drug head popping pills and getting high kind of thing when they first started. So that's what he's trying to say. But she was just like, yeah, but that shit was not no fun no more. And then after we started having kids, I guess she really thought that he needed to stop. And Jewels is getting upset. And I was just like, ain't this like a nigga? He really hasn't dealt with it. Okay? He's saying that he don't need her to be blaming him right now. He just needs her to be supportive. Well, Kimbella's whole thing is the reason why they are where they are is because she been too supportive instead of trying to tell the nigga what he need to do. So he getting frustrated with her. She crying. He looking at her like, you need to cut all that fucking crying shit out. He blames her and she was like, so you blaming me? No, what you need to do is fucking man up. This is because of you. You be a fucking man and admit it. And if you feel like all this is my fucking fault, then you know what? Why are we even together? Let's cut this shit right now. Because you're not gonna sit here and keep dragging me through the mud when I'm really the only one that continues to be in your fucking corner. And he was just like, you know what? I'm about to go to jail, so it's whatever. Okay? I said, ooh, these men with these fucking Jedi mind tricks, they will always try to flip it on you. All right, rock stars, let me get off of here. We had a late start at work today because there was ice, so we didn't have to be into work till 10 o'clock. So I was able to do this before work, you guys. So let me go on and get to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.